Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, 24th of July. Let's go through the pairs and see what happened over the weekend. So USD JPY Friday, we entered this position. This is a very strong bullish candle. So we had a win on Friday. Today, based on my strategy, we continue entering with the momentum. And this candle is very large, so I'm not gonna put my stop loss all the way the other end because the TP for a 1-to-1 wouldn't be reasonably achievable. So I'm aiming for a stop loss half the distance and then 1-to-1 TP accordingly. Hopefully price continues up before it's pulling back. Usually when there's an extended move like this without any pullbacks, after a while there's going to be a deep pullback happening, but we just follow the strategy until it fails. There's no support resistance at this zone, at least not a clear one. Might be something here, but now it's broken out of it, so it only makes sense if it comes back for a retest and a bounce. So for the second strategy and for team's strategy, we just have to wait. USD CAD, we had no entries on Friday, and so what happened here is that price pushed down to this zone, right? Bounced one time, came down, failed to push completely through. So this has created a higher low. So this formation tells me that there is more buyers in this zone than sellers. And when there is more buyers than sellers, it's more likely for this zone, this resistance zone, to break. So what I'm gonna do, since I have a strong bullish close, I'm gonna enter a buy here. Stop loss a little bit, not all the way to the end of the candle. It's a large candle, and we wanna reasonably achieve 1-to-1 before any areas of support or resistance, which could be this level where the wicks are. So we just go below the wicks. I'm just gonna mark this as a potential location where price can bounce. So yes, I'm buying into this zone under the assumption that this zone will fail. Reason being that bears failed to push the price down a second time, created a higher low, and this tells me buyers have more power. We'll see what happens. Now for the second strategy, we are at a zone, so we can enter a sell here. So we can enter a sell here, and the stop loss goes above. And that's for the second strategy. For the team's strategy, 15 minutes chart on the left, we don't really have a clear trend into this zone for a bounce. It's just a spike following by consolidation. So no entries here. USD CHF, we're in a red on Friday. Looks like price closed in the red. Now it's come back up. I think I'm gonna close this at break even, so we basically be closing it at a very tiny loss about here. So according to my rules, once the price close into the red and the next day, which is Monday today, I'll wait for the price to come back to my entry level and I close it at break even, therefore minimizing the risk and minimizing potential losses. No new entry here for now. Same with team's method, and there is no clear support or resistance for the second strategy. AUD-CHF, we had team's strategy entered it on Thursday. It was still running. So what happened? Had a clear uptrend into the zone, break off previous structure, and we just sold. So this worked out pretty well on Friday, and we didn't have any new strategy. This loss already closed down here, and that's from Wednesday. So no new entries here. Second strategy, we're in a hedge again. Seems to me second strategy doesn't really work well, but we'll find out more at the end of July. And for my strategy, we have a big bearish candle. I'm gonna put a stop loss behind the red candle and a 1-to-1. So this is a better entry because we have, let's see what we have. We have a trend down, so you're following the trend. We We have a breakout, retest, and a bounce. So that's another confluence. And we have a strong bearish close. So we have three confluences coming together. So hopefully this will go well. AUD New Zealand, we sold here, it didn't bounce. I'm just gonna close it. Seems unlikely to bounce. Though the zone might be higher. Just because I draw a zone doesn't mean that's where bounce is actually gonna happen. I'm still not entering a new position here for my strategy, even though this is a strong bullish candle, because it might bounce. There is no higher low, there's no trend formation into the zone that it signifies one side is stronger. Just strong bears, strong bulls. Next can be a strong bears. So we'll leave that be. We do have a clear trend. As you can see, we have a clear trend going into a zone. So I'll put for a team's strategy, I'm gonna put an alert here just below this structure. If the price falls below this structure, and then we sell for a bounce. All right, so new entry here from my strategy is pretty obvious. Strong bearish candle after a strong wick signifies a momentum down. I'll just continue with that. And second strategy, we already closed this in profit. Thank God it's coming back down. There's no new zones here. I'm actually gonna get rid of this since it's broken. This zone has previously been broken. This down here might be a zone where price bounced one time and the second time broke, retest, bounce. So we wait for this if it happens. And there's no entry for teams. AUD, USD, and this previous entry is from Thursday. No new entry, very strong bear candle. I'm gonna follow this down, signifies a strong momentum. I'll follow it down and I'll try to take profit within this zone if possible. Let's see if it's possible. 1-1. Yeah, it looks doable. Alright, leave that be. Hopefully it pushes further down. And it's making a trend down, but I think we need to wait more for it to come at least to this zone. AUD we have a winner as well. Clear move past the zone, but this just generated a wick here, so it's still possibility for a bounce, maybe higher this level. I'm just gonna stay out of this for now until it shows a clear. If this was this strong bull candle didn't have a wick, was a strong close as well, then yeah, we could have said higher high and likely for it to break. But this higher high showing bullish momentum, and then you get a wick here showing bears coming in. It's contradictory, and that shows uncertainty. It does look like we have a kind of a trend down, but I would wait for the price to fall down here if I'm gonna execute team's strategy. For the second strategy, we can actually do a sell here, and we put a buy right up here for the hedge on the premise that it's gonna bounce down. New Zealand CAD also had a winner. We are in a hedge, but we can't do anything with it until it goes to a next support resistance zone. That's how the strategy works. Go to a support resistance zone, bounce, close the profit, keep the loss, and try to close the loss, losing position in break even. Nothing there yet. For today though, I'm gonna continue with another sell for my strategy. Stop loss behind the candle and a 1-1. And nothing for teams. New Zealand CHF, we had a loss here. I expected a further pullback after this strong bullish candle, but it's quite risky when you go against the momentum. Maybe I should add that as part of the rules to my system. If there is a strong looking trend, it's not a good idea to go against it for a deeper pullback. That's something to consider. I have a loss here. So I'm just gonna follow through and sell this as well, since there's a momentum. Not gonna put the stop loss all the way, it's too long. Since I'm doing 1-1, I want my TP to be in a location where it's reasonably achievable within a day, maybe 2. And the stop loss goes based on that. It needs to be in a location where you don't get taken out by a wick At the same time, needs to be in a location where if the price reverses, you know your idea is no longer valid. So that's New Zealand CHF. Nothing else. The hedge, one of them is in profit, the other one in loss. Same here. We go for a sell. Ideally, I want to be able to achieve this around these levels. But I feel like this area can pose a clear resistance. So you got bounce, bounce, bounce. But I think this might be too close considering the recent candle sizes. A wick of this magnitude to reach the stop loss is definitely possible. Maybe we go this high. Hopefully it spikes down and give us a win. New Zealand JPY. For today, there is no new entries since the price just moving sideways. Euro pound had a win here as well. I was on Wednesday. Let me put that there. There's nothing for today. Price is definitely pausing. A lot of big wicks, but it's not bouncing down either. So we just wait. Euro CHF. Again, we had a loss on Euro CHF. So I bought after this strong bullish candle, this one here, for a deeper pullback. Again, have a strong momentum, strong trend down. Probably not a good idea to buy in direction of pullbacks. Only works if there is a strong trend looking move. If it's just a spike, yeah, it's probably pullback will be deep. Nothing for today. This is getting way too crowded here. Like this area, I don't even know what's happening. So I'm just gonna leave this be. Euro GPY, no entries. And for today, we can have a bounce. Yeah, second strategy, we go for a sell, hedge above. Expecting a bounce. There's no trend into the zone, so team's strategy won't work here. Euro AUD also had a loss, unfortunately. Strong bear candle suddenly reverses with a strong bull candle. It is what it is. You're gonna have losses as well as winners. Didn't even give us a chance to minimize the loss. Looks like it's gonna break though, so this entry I'm gonna close here at break even. For the second strategy, I'm gonna enter a buy for my strategy here, right where the price is. And yeah, I'm gonna leave the stop loss here, even though these are large candles. Since it's been going back and forth multiple times, I don't really trust the price to maintain its momentum. So I'm gonna give it more distance for this pair. Maybe a little bit lower, it might be too high. Maybe about here would be reasonable. Yeah, should be enough distance for the price to push through. Hopefully it breaks this zone now. Reason I'm saying it's gonna break is because bears failed to push down completely twice and the third time. So we have a kind of a higher low being made into the zone. That means the bulls are coming in at higher prices and pushing the price. That means majority of the market thinks it's worth buying at the higher prices for this pair. Euro USD hasn't really moved. Leave it be. We're in a position. Euro New Zealand. I'm not touching this again. This can be this is like a monthly or a weekly zone. I'm just gonna leave this be. It's good for a sell for a second strategy. Expecting a bounce. We're in a buy. I'm gonna close this buy. We do a sell. And now if the bounce comes down to halfway between these two, we can close them in break even. So on a basket of 3 trades, we have a winner and a break even, hopefully. There's no clear trend going into the zone for team's strategy. Leave that be. Euro CAD. Okay, so clearly in a red, right? So the idea here now is to minimize our loss. So if the price is pulling back and tries to come down to this zone before bouncing, I'm gonna set an alert here for the price. If it drops, hits my alert, I'll close it here or monitor it. If it continues down, I'll close it at my entry. If not, I close it at this level. Pound JPY. We have a strong bullish close. I like this for a buy for my strategy. We want to take profit before this zone. Leave that be. We're also in a buy position for the second strategy. But since I believe price might go there, I might as well just wait and take more profit. Gonna close this hedge. It's not triggered. Pound AUD. We had a loss. I think I entered this after this red candle. So we had a loss on Friday. This buy is in profit, and I'm gonna continue with another entry. And this zone is more accurately. So yeah, that's the entry. So following this bullish candle, even though it's moved already, as long as we can take profit before a zone, and that's good enough for me. And then when the price comes up here, I'm gonna wait. So we are in this losing buy position. I'm gonna close these both positions here. So we had a win on the way down. We got into a hedge up here, so a losing buy and now a winning buy. They cancel each other out almost. So on the basket of 3 trades, we have 1 win and 1 break even. Yeah. This is basically the essence of this strategy. Pound USD had a push down, so we had a winner on Thursday. No entry on Friday. This is good for teams strategy since you can see a clear trend moving into a zone. Now if there's a breakup here and then we go for a bounce with teams strategy. And similarly we can go for a buy at this level for the second strategy with a hedge just below it, and we take profit if he bounces up. Pound CAD, we're in a buy position, second strategy, and we are also gonna get into a buy position for my strategy since Friday closed strong bullish. Also, let's see, this looks kind of like a trend, not very clear though. I mean, we have a spike and then kind of a sideways trendy move. So teams, the strategy, I wouldn't enter here. It's not very clear. So we had a loss on pound CHF on Friday. Now, if the stop loss was a bit lower, we would have had a chance to break even or close near our entry since the price is pushed up going bullish today. But you know, it is what it is. And for the second strategy, we already had this sell winning, and we need to wait for this buy to reach the middle to close the losing buy halfway. Have the 2 buys cancel each other out. In terms of teams strategy, there is no real trend here. Pound New Zealand. In this entry was on Wednesday where we had a loss. Yes, and I haven't entered. Yeah, there's no new entry here for me. And I don't think I'll be entering this since it's back to the side. Looks like for the past month or so, it's just been bouncing up and down between these 2 zones. I think I've said this before. So we just wait. So even though this is a strong bullish candle, I'm not going to buy into this zone. But it is definitely a trend on 15 minutes. You can see trend move up to this high. I'm gonna put an alert for teams strategy. If the price falls down below the previous structure, which is being this one, then we sell for a bounce down. And similarly for the second strategy, I just go ahead, put a pending sell here. Or price hits it, goes down, we can continue with that. CAD CHF, looks like we had a loss as well. I went with the momentum of this bullish candle. At least comes back to the previous structure, but it didn't. That's fine. For today though, yeah, I won't be entering this for today. Reason being that right now it can still push back to this previous structure, or it can also continue with the previous momentum. So it's kind of too risky either way. So we'll leave this out. CAD JPY, we had a winner. Technically we had 2 winners. The previous open on Thursday, had a closed on Friday, and we had an open on Friday, which is also closed the same day. Now we have a rejection up here in this zone, but I'm still gonna go with the buy here regardless. Reason being, first, the zone doesn't really seem very strong, and second, we have a strong momentum bullish candle, so that's our entry. Now put the TP right at these highs, because if we come back up here and fail again, then this would confirm this zone And in that case, there's a higher likelihood for the price to fall down. So if you put your TP there and it doesn't reach it, it's probably not gonna reach it again anytime soon. That's the likelihood. CAD JPY. CHF JPY, we had a loser on Thursday. Yeah, and we are not in a new entry. So we then enter on Friday, which is fine. This looks good for a entry as well. My strategy. Second strategy, we are in a buy and a sell. So we are hedged here. I have to see what happens. And there's nothing for team's strategy here. Nasdaq. So what happened on the left on 15 minutes on Friday? I had a loss. So it was making higher highs and I waited for this break off this previous high and I bought. Very simple, in the direction of momentum, but looks like we didn't get there. Same with the US 30, 730 broke out of these previous highs of the day and fell to continue up. So we had two losses on Nasdaq and US 30. Alright guys, that's it for today. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Take care.